Hey guys, welcome to the Rat Grind channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you had a wonderful day. So I just wanted to come online and give you an update on the trade that I did today that you were following me on yesterday, as well as some cryptocurrency updates that I want to get you abreast on, and a trade that I did that I entered in yesterday, and I was able to earn about 5.5% on a cryptocurrency coin that I got in because of a news that I heard. So I was able to make some gains on that as well. So I want to give you a little bit of an update on that. And I also wanted to share with you a video. I know yesterday we were, looking at mining, and at the end of the video, it showed that a machine was the one mining. And I also get this question a lot. What does mining mean? Does it mean you go under the ground and get some gnomes and some dwarves to mine for some Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? So there's a short video. It's about 2 minutes long that I want to share with you so that you guys can be able to also learn this about cryptocurrency if you didn't already know. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to do was let's catch up on my Robinhood trade. So today it's a little bit of a not a down trade for me, but I did not get as much return as I would like. So basically, the coin that I got into was a junior daily gold miners ETF, which was JNUG, and I showed you guys yesterday that it was gaining up, and I was hoping that it would pop back up, but it didn't. So as you can see, my portfolio went down slightly today. My week portfolio is still on an uptrend. Robinhood is loading right now. Anyways, but let me just show you the month. So over the month, it's still doing great. I'm still up 22% this month. But today, the trade that I did was JNUG right here. As you can see, when I purchased it, I bought it at $14.35 a share. And it went up just a little bit, and I should have sold. It went up to about $14.63. My goal was around 14.70, but if I had sold then, I would have been able to get about 2%, almost 3% back, but I didn't, and I waited and waited, and that's what happened. Like I told you guys, normally speaking, I normally take my profits out as soon as possible, but today I just wanted to see what would happen, and what I was afraid of that would happen actually did happen. And this is one of the main reasons when I see profits, I take them. Because after it went down, it recovered a little bit to 14.45, and it never went up again. So I sold my position at 14.45. I set a buy price before the market closed, so I'm not holding any positions right now. So I still made some gains on it. Excuse me. I still made some gains on it, but not as good as I would like. As I hoped. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get back in on this tomorrow. I might do a day trade. I want to show you guys the actual history of what I had made with this coin. So I bought the JNUG at 272.65, and I made only $2. But still, guys, $2 is $2, right? But I wish I had made more. But as you can see, my account is still growing, right? So we can't always we can't always hit our targets, right? So the days that we do hit our targets, hopefully we hit them a little bit higher, and when we average out the days, it would still be 1.5 to 2%, like my goal to be able to reach my 25,000. Hopefully, by the end of the year. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get in on a position tomorrow. I was actually looking at another a gas one, basically drip. The position that I got in yesterday, it actually went up more, guys. Remember this? I traded it yesterday and I sold it, but it went up even more. So I'm thinking of getting on the reverse of it. This drip, basically the one that I was selling was the bull, ETF, and I want to. This is the reverse ETF of that, which is DRIP, which is the bear ETF of that same market. So I'm gonna try to see if this pops up a little bit. I am seeing that it's up 0.12%. So I'm as soon as the market opens tomorrow, I'm gonna try to see if I can be able to get in on this. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But it's all good. I just want to show you my Thinkorswim platform right here. As you can see, I had two alerts here. One of the alert was for 1470 right here and 1460, as you can see. When it hit 1470, I didn't quite sell it because I was busy and I wasn't able to take that trade, but it never went back up. And I was hoping to at least hit 1460. That's why I put an alert there so I could sell it at 1460, but it never did. The highest it went up was 1445, and then I sold it and went up to 1447. But again, 2 cents doesn't make much of a difference. So I'm happy that I still got some gains. So that's it for that trade. I'll keep you guys posted on what went on with that. So let's move on to cryptocurrency. Let me just close this. So this is the video that I wanted to share with you guys. How does mining work? This one in particular is for cryptocurrencies where you mine them and they are proof of work. There's a lot more now. There's proof of stake, where you basically stake the coin, means you own it and you get some form of dividends on it. You own nodes. Basically, the more shares you own, the better chance for you to be able to get a master node, which is a mining staking position, basically. And there's proof of authority, there's proof of existence. There's a lot of these new ways to basically validate cryptocurrencies, but basically, it's the proof of work was the original one that Bitcoin had. So I wanted to share with you a short video that could be able to just give you a little bit of an idea of how it actually works.
What is Bitcoin mining? Bitcoin operates as a peer-to-peer network. This means that everyone who uses Bitcoin is a tiny fraction of the bank of Bitcoin. But where do Bitcoins come from? With paper money, a government decides when to print and distribute money. Bitcoin doesn't have a central government. With Bitcoin, miners use special software to solve math problems and are issued a certain number of Bitcoins in exchange. This provides a smart way to issue the currency and also creates an incentive for more people to mine. And since miners are required to approve Bitcoin transactions, more miners means a more secure network. The Bitcoin network automatically changes the difficulty of the math problems, depending on how fast they're being solved. In the early days, Bitcoin miners solved these math problems with the processors in their computers. Soon, miners discovered that graphics cards used for gaming were much better suited to this kind of math. Graphics cards are faster, but they use more electricity and generate a lot of heat. The first commercial Bitcoin mining products included chips that were reprogrammed for mining Bitcoin. These chips were faster, but still power-hungry. ASIC, or Application-Specific Integrated Circuit chips, are designed specifically for Bitcoin mining. ASIC technology has made Bitcoin mining even faster while using less power. As the popularity of Bitcoin increases, more miners join the network, making it more difficult for individuals to solve the math problems. To overcome this, miners have developed a way to work together in pools. Pools of miners find solutions faster than their individual members, and each miner is rewarded proportionate to the amount of work he or she provides. Mining is an important and integral part of Bitcoin that ensures fairness while keeping the Bitcoin network stable, safe, and secure. For more information about Bitcoin mining, visit Bitcoin Miner.
So guys, that's basically how mining Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies work. Now, Ethereum, the second cryptocurrency that's very popular, the second highest market cap cryptocurrency, is also being mined, and the similar ways of guessing the cryptographic hash works almost similar. It's just they're just using a different group of miners and a different set of hardware. That's the only difference. But as you can see, when people are mining these things, this is when new Bitcoin or new cryptocurrencies are actually created, right? That's how these things come about. And the best thing about cryptocurrencies that you may or may not realize is the problem with our current currency, the paperback fiat currency, is the government can print an unlimited amount of it, right? So today, as of today, I think we're printing, if I'm not mistaken, $90 billion a day. I may be a little bit wrong on that, but it's up there. Check it out. Google it. Try to find out what it is. But the U.S. government keeps printing more money and puts this money into circulation. So what they do, they would print more money, give us tax cuts, so that we can spend that in the economy. Because the more money that is being spent in the economy, supposedly the better the economy will be. But as you know, when there is too much supply, then the value of our currency decreases. And so what they do is they lower the interest rates that banks can borrow from each other, so that we can circulate this currency. If you had a chance to watch one of the videos that I shared with you guys, the full episode of the biggest scam in the history of mankind, you would get a better idea of how this all works. And this is why cryptocurrencies is going to change the future. I keep saying that because it's true. Now, the reason is, for Bitcoin, for example, there can only be 21 million Bitcoins in circulation, and that's it. No amount of Bitcoin can ever be produced afterwards. So you might be thinking, well, how would the miners earn money if no new Bitcoins are created? Well, there will still be mining that will happen in publishing all the transactions into the blockchain. So there will be transaction fees. So as the mining resources go up and the supply of Bitcoin decreases, because once a Bitcoin is mined, it's gone. It's already mined. It's already in the circulation. So then the transaction fees will go up a little bit, but the usage will increase as well. So that's the economy of how the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will work. Now, there are different set of rules for other cryptocurrencies, of course, not just Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum has a different limit supply, and so do other coins. So it's important for you to understand the tokenomics. That's what they call it. This token economics of how much supply, what the value is. Are they going to burn coins? Are they going to continue producing coins, or whatever the case may be? You have to really understand this when you are investing in any of these cryptocurrencies, right? So that's pretty much it. I want to share with you guys. So basically, the market is on a rebound. Like I told you guys yesterday, I expect that we are uptrending, right? And it shows right here that, as you can see on the chart, yesterday was all red, pretty much. And today, as you can see, the correction has tapered, and it's trajecting up again. There's small, correction right here that you can see, but overall, the markets are green. Like, oh wow, Stellar Lumens. This is actually, they're partnering with IBM. About 13% gain today. Icon. This is another platform, infrastructure based coin. It's up 13%. Verge. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of Sia coin. This is another cryptocurrency that I've traded before, and it's up. Oh wow, 49, almost 50%. Bitcoin Diamond is another. It's another Bitcoin fork. I'll get into forks later on in future videos, but it's basically, you copy the code of Bitcoin, you upgrade it in a way that you feel that it's better, and if there's enough people that join you on that, then you go ahead and fork it, because when you fork the main networks, there's a disagreement, right? Like Bitcoin that says, okay, I don't want to have more than 21 million, and that's it. So if you want to make more than 21 million, you create a new Bitcoin, like Bitcoin 2, Bitcoin 3, whatever the case may be. Now, if you have enough people that will be able to join you on that effort, then you can create that cryptocurrency. But Bitcoin is still the one and only original one, right? So I did some short technical analysis today. I was looking at it, and it looks like I showed you this yesterday. And like I said, we were bouncing off that. We broke through that resistance line. I turned it to red, and I looked at the support level. So I see some good level of support here on the about 8,800 line. And right now we're actually up to 9,200 again. So there's still some resistance up above the 9,600, 9,700 level. But if we can break through that, then we should be good to go. The line is trending up. As you can see, there's a pattern that is going up, and there's a channel that's being formed. As you can see, trades down here, pops back up, trades down, pops back up, trades down. But it's been bouncing on this support right here. So there's a good level of support, and I think it will continue to go up, right? That's Bitcoin, and I did the same thing with Ethereum. Excuse me, guys. I still have a little bit of a cough. All right, so this one as well. I think if it keeps the 600 level support, we should be able to go up and break about this 720, 750 resistance level, which is when there was a big sell-off last time, right? It tried to go up, it bounced, it sold off, it bounced again up, and it just went all the way down. So it's trying to do that again. It hasn't broken through up here to the 737 level, but there's a good resistance at the 700 level. Now, if this breaks through right here, right? If this breaks through, let me see if there's a line here that is bouncing from. Okay, there's greens. When you make these support line, guys, or resistance lines, you need 3 points to touch, right, to confirm that it is a pattern. So yeah, 3 points touch. 1, 2. Move this up a little bit. 3. Okay, that the little wick. These little tails right here, they're called wicks, guys. If you guys didn't know. So it looks like it bounced here. It bounced on this 620, I believe, or 610. Support level, and it's going back up. So it hits a little bit of a resistance here, just a little bit, like it did before here. It sold off in this level before, and also sold off in this level. So there's a little bit of a resistance there, but it's a green right now. So I think that should break through. We're on the 4-hour chart, so I think we should be good to go. Let's take a look at the 1-day chart. Let's see if it's green. Yeah, it's green. There's a green level, and then there's a small little red candle there. So I think overall it should still continue to go up. So that is great news, guys. So just a couple of news that I wanted to share with you guys. Amazon, if you don't believe the blockchain cryptocurrency is going to change the world, Amazon Web Services. I already told you that IBM already has Hyperledger, which they donated to the Linux Foundation, so that people can be able to develop their own blockchain, right? Develop your own cryptocurrencies, develop your own service. So Amazon now they already offer Hyperledger. If you get a Amazon Web Services account, you can create a template. Now they also do Ethereum, so you can copy an Ethereum-based token, because all of the codes of the cryptocurrencies, not all, but majority of them, the good projects, they are all on GitHub, GITHUB.com. Basically, this is a repository so that people that understand code, they can verify what these codes, what these coins are doing. They can see if they're making progress on their so-called milestones, their roadmap, if they're keeping up to date with it, if the programmers are committing to finishing the projects. You can see them there very transparently, because again, this is all about decentralization and being open to audits, right? That's what you are able to do. So Amazon is getting in on this. So this is wonderful news. So another news that I wanted to share with you guys was, there's this startup called Revolut that I think this started about in 2015, but they really got heavily publicized towards the end of last year. This is I heard about them. They're in London, but they just did a third round of funding, and they just achieved unicorn level. So if you don't know, in the startup world, .com, internet space, or any of the new startups, IPOs, if you hit $1 billion, you are considered unicorn. The Ubers, the Facebooks, of course, the Yahoos and all that stuff. They are called unicorns because they can. There's not a lot of companies that can get a valuation of over $1 billion, and Revolut is now after the third round of funding, they are considered a unicorn, and they are an alternative bank. If way of banking in London. I signed up for a for their service here in the US, but I'm on the waiting list. There's about, I think, 26,000 people in front of me. And the way they're revolutionizing it is you could basically put your money into their system, and you can go to any country, not any country, but majority of the countries, and you can do your exchanges so you can pay locally and avoid all those banking fees. And you can also store cryptocurrency. I think you can do Bitcoin, you can do Ethereum, you can do Litecoin, and a few other ones. So I haven't dove into the actual service because it's not yet available here in the US. But once it does become available, I'm already on the waiting list. So I'm going to review it for you guys so you guys can be able to see how it's definitely different. So I suggest reading up on this article. Just look for Revolut. It's REVOLUT, and check it out on the internet and see what the technology is all about. Another news that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm originally from the Philippines. That's where my family is from. And the Philippines there's a quite amazing story. Of course, we have in the Philippines special economic zones. Basically, these are like tax-free business haven type zones, and the Philippine government is allowing businesses into these special economic zones so that they can they can minimize their taxes or have no taxes while they operate, and they have more of a free zone to operate their innovations and stuff like that. But they do say that if you are in exchange, they still want you to operate offshore so that it doesn't interfere and it doesn't conflict with the laws, the security exchange laws in the Philippines, which is similar to the United States. So I wanted to give you a little bit of news on that. Another big news that I saw, this was a little bit late, but I hadn't had a chance to read it. This happened over the weekend. Goldman Sachs, I mean, if you're not familiar with Goldman Sachs, they're one of the biggest financial institutions here in the U.S. and I think in the whole world. They've already started hiring their first employees into their cryptocurrency market unit. So if you don't think cryptocurrency is here to stay, this is proof in and of itself that it is. If it wasn't, then why would these companies, JP Morgan, the Rockefellers, George Soros, and all of these institutional companies get in on it, right? So this is just great news. Tim Draper, there was another news that I was reading. Tim Draper, one of this guy is a VC. He's a really smart guy. And he's saying that the blockchain industry and Bitcoin is going to be bigger than the internet and industrial revolution. Of course, he's a little bit biased because he's a blockchain evangelist, but he is a really smart guy. I mean, he puts his money where his mouth is. So if you're interested, read up a little bit more about this article. It's on Cointelegraph. It's really good news. But one last interesting news that I wanted to share with you guys before I move into the trade that I wanted to show you, where I was able to gain about 5.5%. There was a correction, right? A couple of days ago, or yesterday and the day before. One very interesting thing, I think I talked about it on the last video that I did yesterday or the other day about Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox got hacked in 2013. And basically, as a way to compensate all the people that had lost a lot of money, you're talking about almost billions of dollars worth of cryptocurrencies that were locked up. So what's happening is they have to sell their positions and they have to repay the value of the money that the people lost. But as you know, Bitcoin, compared to what it was before, when it was in the less than like thousands or even under it, Now it's trading up. It went up to all the way to 20,000. So the value of the Bitcoin is a lot higher. So that's what they're doing. And there was a news that Mt. Gox moves around $165 million worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash from its wallets. So they consolidated it into a wallet. This was big news, and a lot of people are following this because, of course, people are always weary because once a big institution like this, I mean, think about that, guys, $165 million starts flooding the market and starts selling off, people might get ticked off. So if you're in the cryptocurrency space and you see some sell off, don't be alarmed. It could be the Mt. Gox trustee, Nobuaki Kobayashi, is going ahead and selling off more of their positions, so that I'm not sure what they're doing. If they have enough money, but I don't understand. But they can, because of course they own the Bitcoin and they can clear it out anytime they want. So just watch out for that, guys. And this is the great thing about cryptocurrencies. It's especially Bitcoin. It's transparent, guys, as you can see right here. See, this address is what is identified as the destination of the 16,000 Bitcoins that are being moved, right? So as you can see, there's 17 transactions that all went into this one account, and you can check this address. Go ahead, if you're able to copy this, put it in blockchain.info or any other Bitcoin address checker that you guys have. You can see how much Bitcoin has gone into this wallet. It is being moved, and this wallet it's already been identified that's related to the Mt. Gox. So that's very, very it's very transparent. So that's all the cryptocurrency news that I had today. I mean, if there's anything that comes up that I missed, please let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear. There's a lot of news that happens on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just sharing with you guys the ones that I think are relevant, right? So the last thing I wanted to share with you guys was my trade today. So I got into this position. I'm not sure if I told you guys that I bought Ion. So I heard the news that they were releasing the first mainnet, I believe, of this cryptocurrency blockchain infrastructure. And when that happened, as you can see on this chart right here, it went up because of the news. And people waited for it to go out. And as soon as it was announced on the 25th, which was yesterday, then they started selling off because that's what they expect that would happen. So it sold off. I waited for it to bounce back up just to make sure that it was, it would recover. It wouldn't just tank all the way down because, like I said, that thing happened. So I bought it at around on this candle right here. So it went down, it went up again, it crashed down, it touched the lower Bollinger Band, and it was in the, I think it was 45, and then it went down to about 35, and I bought it about here at about 3,888 satoshis, I believe, right here. You can see it on my chart. So I bought about 81 of them, or 82 at the 3,888 satoshi level, and I went ahead and bought more at when it went down a little bit more to 3856. So that's about a about 30-cent difference, right? So that's the difference that it had. So what I did was I waited for it to pop up. I sold it at 4085 for 4,085 satoshis, and I sold all of the position, and that got me a 5.5 return, 5.5% return. That's a pretty good trade. As you can see here, I bought it on the 25th and I sold it today. And I sold it because it was trending up. I could have probably waited a little bit more, but with the experience that I had with my position on my Robinhood account on my ETF, and I got a little bit paranoid because I don't want to lose my gains. So as soon as it popped back up, I sold it at 40.85. As the current price right now at 12:10 a.m. Pacific time, April 27, is 40.89. So I'm just about 4 satoshis different. So I think it can still go up. There's a lot of buy orders, as you can see here, guys, on this chart. Look, there's people wanting to buy 1,000, 3,000 at 40.63 level, and so that's a good indicator that they're trying to pull the market down. The bears are trying to pull the market down, but there's not enough supply that's being sold right now. Let's look at the ask. Yeah, so yeah, the big ask for this is there's a buy wall or sell wall at around 41.47. So I could have probably waited. It could probably go there. As you can see, it's doing higher highs, higher lows. It's trajecting up. This is the 1 hour candle, 1 hour chart. And usually when I swing trade, I usually use the 1 hour to 4 hour charts. And if I'm doing day trading, I use the 5 minute charts. The 5 minute charts, as you can see, these are the opportunities that you could be able to buy. So today, if you waited for this dip, you bought right here. The RSI would be around 40. See the MACD is red. You know, when it has a W, like I said, you could have bought here. You could have sold right here. That was about an hour. Waited for it to drop down here again. Sold there. Drop down here. Sold there. So you could have played that today. But I had a busy day today, so I wasn't able to get in on that. And like I told you guys, during the weekdays, I work, so I could do that when it's the weekend or in the evenings, like a Friday night. If I see opportunities like that, that's when I would day trade the 5 minute chart. You do 15 minute chart, 30 minute charts, or 1 hour chart. So that's an opportunity that you could be able to do. So guys, like I told you, you can make money. You can make your gains on cryptocurrencies. Now, this is not financial advice. Like I always say, you do your own research, study this market, study how to do it. And you can make money if you do it correctly. I mean, don't just follow what I buy and follow my trades, but a lot of the advice that I'm giving you are the same ones that I've learned from other people. Other people are doing this, not just me. And this is proof that I know I took about I think it was about a $500, almost $600 position. I bought it. I spent I think it was $581. And then when I sold it, my position was about 615. It should be a little bit higher now because Bitcoin now is at, what is it? Let me see. What is Bitcoin? Let me see. Sorry, guys. Bitcoin is at 9,200. So it's it's relatively good. So it's gonna keep going up. So, but that's basically how you make gains, trades on altcoins and cryptocurrencies, and you can do this trading Ethereum and Bitcoin to dollars and whatever your local currency is. But I wanted to keep you guys just one last thing is be aware wherever you are, there are different tax laws. Okay. Here in the United States, if you're not aware, every single trade, every gain that you trade, like in a day, for example, right? If you trade one pair for another pair and you earn 1%, you owe taxes on that 1%. Okay. If you went ahead and did another trade and you made another gain, you owe taxes on that again. Now, of course, the tax bracket differs. I mean, it's different depending on how much gains you actually make. These are short-term capital gains because it's considered property here in the United States. If you hold the coin, that's where there's a lot of push for people holding or hodling, because when you keep it for an entire year, then you're only subjected to long-term capital gains taxes. Now, taxes, that's like they say, the only thing that's permanent here is death and taxes, and you will always get taxed. But that shouldn't be a reason why you get afraid of starting this venture, starting this opportunity. Because if you worked for a job, you will get taxed too. There's no way around getting taxed. You may be able to have strategies to minimize your taxes, but you still will pay your fair share of taxes, however much that is. So just because of taxes, don't be afraid. But when you're doing these trades, a lot of these exchanges provide you with a way to export it, and there's tracking softwares that you can be able to do, which I will discuss in future videos as we proceed with the content of this channel. And I'll teach you more all about that. But be safe. Always know that you will have to pay your fair share of taxes. So if there's any other questions that you'd like me to handle, like you'd like me to answer on this channel, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I know there's not a lot of subscribers to my channel yet, but even though, just leave a comment and I'll check back the history and I'll make a video about it. If there's something that you'd like me to improve on this channel, please let me know as well. I'm new to this and I'm also learning how to properly give you as much information as I possibly can. And if there's stuff that you don't find useful, let me know and I'm going to cut it out of the channel. Whichever you guys will feel would be most beneficial to you. All right. Well, I really appreciate your time this day, and I wish you and your family a success-filled day.